Schlossberg, Managing Director at BK Asset Management.
BK Asset Management's Kathy Lean.
Hello. Good morning, everyone. This is Kathy. I'd like to start with a sound check and make sure you can hear me, see me, everything is working well. Give me a thumbs up if you're here, you can see me, and we're good to go with a sound check. All right. Good morning, Connie. Good morning, Brittany. Good morning, Johan, Chris. Welcome, everyone, for live trading non-farm payrolls. So it sounds like my voice and my screen are going well. Good morning. Welcome, everyone. Non-farm payrolls is always an exciting day to trade, and we've got quite a bit of consolidation in the markets ahead of today's non-farm payrolls report, which means that everyone's kind of itching to see what this release is before they really pile on those new positions. So I think it should be a very, very interesting trading day. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. People are starting to come in. Let me know, if you are a first timer. Is this your first time joining our non-farm payrolls live trading session or joining any of our live streams? I have not shared my screen yet, DV. I'm only sharing my camera right now because I'm saying good morning, making sure that we have a sound check on. We're going to be looking at the screen in just a second, but I want to make sure that I give everyone a chance to come in. Welcome, AKS, Santiago, Rashid, first timers, Yutsini. Okay, we've got a lot of first timers here, which is wonderful. Boris will be joining me shortly. Typically, if you are trading NFPs or any live trading session that I do for the first time, what we generally do is we lay out our game plan for the event. We basically plan out what we're going to trade, how we're going to trade it, talk about the reasons why. And then once the numbers release, I'll be trading the plan that we put together, Forex. Then Boris is going to come in and he's going to join us for trading gold as well as indices. So we're going to be trading all of the key instruments, but we start with Forex and then we roll into gold and indices, and that rolls into the New York Open trades for gold and indices. So it's going to be, pretty much a pretty active session, but we don't trade until after the non-farm payrolls report is released. And one of the main reasons for that is because, non-farm payrolls has so many components. We've got the unemployment rate, the absolute non-farm payroll change. We have average hourly earnings. We have the participation rate. We have revisions. So there could be a surprise in any component of that. There could even be a revision to a previous month's report. So for all of those reasons, these are one of those reports that you only want to trade what I call reactively, not proactively. And that's what we've been doing. We've had great success trading non-farm payrolls. I know that there's so many of you are new, including Vintage FX. And yeah, so many of you are new, but you'll know that for those of you that aren't, you'll know that, usually non-farm payrolls is very fruitful for us. I can't promise it all the time. Knock on wood, it'll be another good session, but we'll have to see what the market gives us. And, I think given the consolidation we have right now, it should be, pretty big move unless the numbers are all over the place. All right. So with that, I'm going to share my screen. Give me 1 second. So I'm going to share my screen and you should see my my FX book page. And let me see if I can span this. Okay. So you should see my FX book page. And this basically shows you what is expected for today. Let me see if I can zoom it in a little bit. Oops, that's way too much. That's okay. All right. So this is the unemployment report. And you can see that non-farm payrolls, the consensus is this line here. and the previous is this line. So non-farm payrolls is expected to come in 110,000, which is down from 147,000 the previous month. But even though the absolute amount of job growth is expected to slow and the unemployment rate is expected to increase, the average hourly earnings component, which is very, very important, is expected to rise. So earnings are expected to rise and payroll growth is expected to slow and the unemployment rate is expected to be weaker. So overall, it should be a mostly softer number, but there's a lot of room for a surprise, because if we come in, for example, 120,000 in non-farm payrolls, which is still weaker than the previous month, but average hourly earnings improve and the unemployment rate holds steady, that's going to be dollar positive, not dollar negative, even though job growth has slowed. So that is part of the reason why there's so many moving parts. It is best to trade the event reactively. Now, every single time before we have a big event like the jobs report or non-farm payrolls, I usually like to look at what I call the leading indicators for the jobs report. Now, what's kind of frustrating this month is that, two of our most important leading indicators, which are the ISM manufacturing and the ISM services report, is not going to be released until after non-farm payrolls. So we don't have the benefit of the doubt of seeing those reports. So we don't know, what those numbers will be. But based upon the numbers that are out already, you can see that 4-week average jobless claims actually dropped. The ADP report improved, and there's a very sharp rebound yesterday. Continuing claims declined. There was a rise in consumer confidence, and Challenger reported the Challenger part is wrong. The Challenger part, actually, the layoffs increased. So this should be red. And there was a drop in job openings, a significant drop. So if we imagine the first 4 is green and the last 2 are red, let me ask you, if you had to lean in, if you had to take a guess, do you think non-farm payrolls is going to beat or miss? I want you to type in the answers. Do you think based upon this, do you think non-farm payrolls is going to beat or is it going to miss today? Come on. I'd like to make sure that you guys are engaged, paying attention. Let me know. What do you think? Ray says he thinks it's going to beat. Andy says beat as well. Olayimi says beat. Chris says beat. Everyone here says beat. Okay, let's see if we're right or wrong. Well, I agree. There's certainly more green than there's red. There's certainly more reasons to believe that there's underlying strength in the U.S. labor market than weakness. But as I said, we don't have ISM services. We don't have ISM manufacturing release. So 2 of the most important components of NFPs that we usually follow, we don't have this month. But jobless claims have been very, very low. ADP completely missed the mark last month. So I think you kind of discount that a little bit. But jobless claims have been very low. And so the question is, has fewer jobless claims equated to more job openings? And the answer is kind of no, actually, because job openings have been falling. So yes, I also agree with you that all of this means that that there's a risk to the upside, and that's very important to acknowledge. Which is why we're not selling dollars going into this, because there is risk to the upside. But even though there may be risk to the upside, we're kind of flying in blind going into it. But while this is important, what is much more important is what I like to talk about all the time, which is what are the market's expectations? What is priced into the market? So taking a look at this, and actually let's take a look at, I like the simplicity of my own zip charts, but we're going to talk about the same thing. And for those of you that don't know, this is zip. So basically, let me hide What this shows you is that if the background's red, it means that the longer term trend is bearish. If it's below the indicator line, it means that the shorter term trend is bearish as well. If we are above the indicator line, the background's green, it means the trend is bullish. But what you can see is that the dollar is, for the most part, trading higher going into non-farm payrolls. It's up against the Japanese yen. It's up against the euro. It's at the lower right-hand corner of the chart, so it shows you that is up against the euro. It is up against the Canadian dollar. It's up against the Swiss franc, so forth. The point I want to make is that the market is bullish dollars going into the jobs report. And so that is very important for us as traders. That is very important for us to know as traders, because if the market is already bullish dollars going into the jobs report, then a good number will probably have a greater oomph, I like to say, more momentum, because if we have a good number, basically that reinforces the vibe of the markets right now. And it's kind of like a pat in the back. Okay, whatever you were thinking before is right. So it's going to give it more momentum to go. Now, it is even more important on the flip side. If we have a weaker number, unless it's incredibly weak, and what we will define as incredibly weak is below 100,000. If it's an incredibly weak number, if it's an incredibly weak number, it's going to be dollar bearish. But if it's a so-so weak number, like 110 on the dot, or 105, or 102, we may not have a meaningful dollar pullback. We'll probably see a little bit of a pullback in the dollar, but then it may snap back. It may end up snapping back anyway. And this is where the expectations component is so important, because the market is already bullish dollars. You know, I can't say it's because of the jobs report. I think everyone agrees the jobs report is going to be weaker, but the market is already kind of bullish dollars. And so if the data is not so bad, then we may have a shallow dip in the dollar followed by a bump up. So that is very, very important to remember, that because that has a very strong possibility of happening, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So, I'm getting questions. Can I buy gold? Can I buy, if you're just joining us, as I said, we lay out our game plan. And then after the report, I trade Forex first. Boris comes in, he trades gold and indices. So let's start talking about our trading plan. So let's just put on the dollar yen chart here. We know that non-farm payrolls, 110,000 is the estimate. All right. So the simple things, right? If we are greater than, let's say, 130, and everything else is okay, meaning that average hourly earnings rises and the unemployment rate either ticks up a little bit or improves, we're going to be looking for buying dollars. And I'm going to tell you which pairs in a minute, but I want to lay out the other scenario. If it is below 100,000, which we would define as, very weak, and the unemployment rate increases and average hourly earnings increases by the amount that is anticipated, then we're going to be selling dollars. So we're going to fill in the pairs that we will be looking at in a minute. But I want to say one more thing. When the number comes out, the most important thing to think, like we did beginning of 2 weeks ago, is to put yourselves into the shoes of the Federal Reserve. Will this number make them more or less likely to cut interest rates in September? That's the question that we should be asking ourselves. We should be asking the market, I guess. So if we have a number that's greater than 130,000 and the average hourly earnings growth improves, so forth, the odds of a September rate cut is going to pretty much stay where it is right now, maybe drop a little bit. And right now it's about 60-something%. If we have a very bad number and the market really, really wants an interest rate cut, and they really want to price in more of an interest rate cut, if we do get a sub 100,000 number, then we could see a much more meaningful sell-off in the US dollar, because the market really, really wants to price in that rate cut. But, today, not really so much. The market's bullish dollars. Part of it, part of it is due to yields being up. A large part of it is all of the tariffs that began today, and the market's kind of being nervous about, what that means, nervous about what the tariffs mean for the market. And that's why stock futures are down so much. So how are we going to trade this? All right, if we have a strong number, meaning that we are greater than 100,000, then I think in many ways the trade is quite simple. It's going to be the pure Forexes. We're going to be looking at buying dollar yen, which is why I have my dollar yen chart here. We're going to be looking at buying dollar Swiss because the Swiss franc is actually the weakest currency. This is the weakest currency that we have this morning. So buying dollars against the Swiss franc looks like a really good play. And then also, euro is dropping below 114 right now. It really wants to fall. So these are the pairs that we'll look at in the order that we'll probably end up looking at it. If the number is very weak, meaning that we get a number below 100,000, then our game plan, same story. The first thing that we're probably going to look at is we're going to look at dollar yen is definitely going to move. So we're going to look at selling dollar yen. It won't be my favorite trade, actually. My favorite trade, believe it or not, is going to be selling Swiss yen, which I'll show you in a minute. But we're going to be looking at selling Swiss yen. I'm putting dollar yen first because we have to look at that first because that's going to determine what Swiss yen is doing. I want to look at selling Swiss yen. And then the most resilient currency against the dollar has been, in many ways, the Australian dollar. So I'm going to be looking at buying Aussie dollars. So this is the game plan for this morning. We're going to be looking at dollar yen, dollar Swiss, euro dollar. And the reason why I'm looking at Swiss yen is because Swiss yen is kind of, it's potentially forming a zip sell signal, and it would be consistent with the sell-off in stocks. The other trade that's kind of happening that I'm watching is EuroCAD. EuroCAD is not a dollar trade, but it looks really, really good, and perhaps it's just waiting for the report to come out to see how it wants to go. But this has got a double zip sell signal. We'll revisit that later to see how it worked out. But this is a very strong sell signal. But of course, it's all about the dollar this morning. So that's the only thing that's going to matter. So we're going to be looking at dollar yen. I'm going to put dollar yen over here. We're going to be looking at dollar Swiss. We're going to be trading euro dollar. And we're going to be looking at Aussie dollar. I'm going to have Swiss yen on my other screen. I don't want to have too many on my screen right now. But, on my other computer, I've got an eye on Swiss yen. Now, typically, when we trade, we put a 20 pip target, 20 pip stop for our news trades. And, we'll see how it goes. And I'll be calling out the trades. But, as we said earlier, dollar yen is really the one that we are zeroing in on for the trading opportunities. Dollar yen, dollar Swiss, and then also euro dollar. So for BK members, those of you who are here, I'll try to type them into the channel. But as I said, 20 pip stop, 20 pip target, and dollar yen, dollar Swiss, euro dollar are our main trades. So we're about 2 minutes away from the data, maybe less than that, probably 90 seconds away from the data. Ooh, what is that, Boris? Let's leave my screen up there. I'm going to remove your screen. I don't know what you just did. Okay, you got to remove that, Boris. All right. So I've got my screen back up. Boris is not going to change the screen on me while I'm talking. We are about a minute away from the data. You'll see it in, now, Boris, if you don't mind popping in, screaming out the data for us. We'll see it in the price action.
Okay. Yeah.
Before we see it in anything else. I'm going to have it on another screen as well. Give me 1 second. I'm going to put it on this screen. So I'll hopefully see it when it comes out.
21 seconds left for the screen.
The dollar really is rallying. So I think dollar Swiss is the weakest. Swiss franc is the weakest. I really like that trade. But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. It could be anticipation. 4.2 is the unemployment rate. That's what everybody's looking at right now. If that pops up a lot, Powell was talking about that.
Oh, it must be a weak number. So if it's a weak number, remember we're looking to buy Aussie, sell dollar yen. But let's see, what's the number,
Yeah,
Boris?
73 on employment change, 0.3 on average hourly earnings. I still don't have the unemployment rate at 4.2. So same.
Okay, so a weak
just
number. I think selling dollar yen is an interesting trade, 150.05. And then I like buying, like I said earlier, buying euro dollar 114.42. So dollar yen already hit the plus 20 target. We sold at 450.05. Hit plus 20, my friends. That was a very quick trade. Euro dollar, we bought 114.42. Let's see if we can get some pips out of there. Dollar yen was really the pure trade. Let's see how our Swiss yen trade is now doing. Swiss yen trade is flipping to the upside. We are not trading that. Euro CAD is also flipping to the upside. We're not trading that. Euro dollar is moving. Remember, went long 114.42. And there we go. 20 pips in the euro dollar as well. 20 pip target hit in the euro dollar. So now the question is, do we reload? Do we get back in? I think dollar yen has more room to fall, but I'd like a little bit of retrace, 149.60. Let's take a look at our shorter term charts. If you can get it in the 70s, I think looks good for a little bit of a move because dollar yen has, and there is support, my friends, right here at 149.53. That's where I think it's going to go. So I think, you could sell here around 66, 67. And let's try for a move down to the 50s. See if we get anything there. All right. You got to be really, when you're reloading, you got to be more conservative with your trade. It's not as smooth as the earlier ones. So, we're here at about 8 or 9 pips. I would get out of dollar yen if we get to 10 pips, which is right here, 149.57. About 10 to 15 pips right now you're earning. Oops, it's moving fast. And so close dollar yen. And there's the 20 pips again in dollar yen to the downside. So we sold dollar yen initially when the data came out at 105.05. It hit our first profit target fairly early. We also bought euro dollar at 114.42, also moving upwards. And then we sold dollar yen a second time. So 60 pips, 3 easy trades. Tell me if you made money. Let me know how much money you made. All right, another mutant says he took 50 pips trading dollar yen this morning. Who else made some money? Raja, are you here? Raja made a lot of money last month when we traded non-farm payrolls. I think he told me he made $23,000 trading NFPs. Who else traded with me this morning and made some pips? Let's see. Giorgio. Okay, one second. Giorgio says that he's made 20 pips. Wonderful. El Gato made 50 pips. I took small pips because, I'm trying to show you what I'm doing. But, all of you made a lot of money. Let's see.
Yeah, we got DV.
Why don't you read it out, Boris? What I'm trying to do.
DV made 20 pips. TS made 12 pips. Andy
Who
made.
wants to tell us
pips.
How much, what those pips mean for your account? How much did you make?
Georgie made 20 pips.
$8. Okay, I mean, hey, that's, some places that's very, very meaningful. $100 carry, that's great too. That's more than most people make an hour. And we made that in, 2 minutes. So good job. Good job, Giorgio. $250 in 3 minutes. So respectable numbers. Now, will we go more? Okay. So the question, everyone. Oh, Dan, you made 24.
Dan made 24,000. Dan gets the chicken. Hold on a second. Dan gets the winner.
Sorry, I'm showing the wrong screen.
Dan gets the chicken winner dinner right now so far. Anybody want to beat Dan?
Hold on. I'm just trying to.
What are you trying to do, Kay?
I'm actually trying to save. I'm trying to screenshot and save.
Oh, I can screenshot some of these things for you.
Yeah, okay. If you don't mind.
Yeah.
If you screenshot, Dan made $2,400. Maybe you can screenshot that. And I'll keep going. So yeah.
Okay.
So if you don't mind screenshotting that and also getting some of the chat on the right-hand side, I want to use these as testimonials. Please send me some testimonials in the YouTube comments, because that would be very, very valuable. So many of you will be wondering, is there more to go here? You have noticed that I've stopped. There is probably more to go. Fridays can oftentimes be very trending days. And today is obviously, a day where we still have ISM service of manufacturing coming out, but Fridays can be very, very trending days, especially when we have something like non-farm payrolls report, especially since if you take a look at the numbers that came out, they were, below 100,000. We laid out our game plan. We talked about if it's below 100,000, it's really, really bad. Pretty bad deal here. And, that is, hold on. So that's a pretty really weak number here. And, that would lead to a big move. And so it did give us a big move. Now, average hourly earnings growth rose more than anticipated, which is obviously not good. But the participation rate dropped, unemployment rate increased as well. So this is a pretty weak number. I would still be looking to sell, but I like to sell on a bounce at this point, because we stopped right at the 5 SMA. If we look at the 5-minute chart, we do look at the shorter term charts to see where our bounce is. Unfortunately, it seems to be much higher up. So you got to tread carefully at this point. You can see that the market is pausing and there's a bit of consolidation. So I'd like to see maybe dollar yen back at 149, like 45.50 before selling again. But I do think it's going to come down here to the zone over here at 148.70. Because if we look at our longer term charts, really this testing of this low here seems feasible in the 4-hour chart. Now look at the 4-hour chart. We're right at the 20 SMA. This is where it should bounce. I think it should settle around here. Where's my arrow? At 148.50, but not before a potential bounce. So my target for dollar yens is 148.50. Ideally selling on a bounce. Not sure if you're going to get it. Hopefully you will. But I still think the point I want to make is I do think that there's continuation. And I do think that the main continuation trade is going to be in dollar yen. You may have some opportunity in Aussie dollar because it's the least weakest, and euro dollar. Now, euro dollar was squeezing up. Go ahead, Boris.
Okay. Joe Weisenthal, Bloomberg, actually pointed out something really interesting. From May to June, were larger than normal. Change in total non-farm payrolls was revised from 125,000 and from 14,000 to 19,000 and to plus 14,000. Just big revisions downwards. So a lot of those big gains that we saw in May and June may have been fictitious. So that's another thing that's weighing on the market.
So all of you are asking for Boris, and so I'm going to give him the screen. 3 out of 3 winners. Most importantly is we laid out the trading plan. Actually, before you take the screen, Boris, we laid out the trading plan, and we executed our trading plan without emotions. We knew exactly what we were doing. We had planned out exactly what we were going to do. I don't know if it kept it on my chart or not, but we had planned out exactly what we were going to do. And we basically executed. This was our trading plan. We executed our trading plan. We didn't take Swiss yen because it zipped to the other side. We took dollar yen, focused on dollar yen, and that was pretty much it. We did trade euro dollar as well. So having a really good trading plan and sticking with it is very important. Now, what I want you to do is I want all of you to join our free trading community because, I'm going to do a video on NFPs. There's a lot of great information that I'm going to post. Boris, if you don't mind putting in the free community link. Actually, we can put it on the bottom, the QR code, Boris. Put up the QR code. Don't we have a QR code up?
For a community?
Yeah, you had a banner one time. So when you click on just join the free community, lots of really great stuff. I'm going to show you what you get in the free trading community. So in the free trading community, I'm posting every day. I'm posting, we're trading live NFPs. I had a great post. I put best advice from #1 person on Wall Street, woman on Wall Street. You can learn. Some of you are asking about my zip trading strategy. Included in the free trading community is my Forex starter course over here and Boris's day trading course. And you can learn my zip strategy. When I traded, how to set the stops, targets, and goals. the checklist, step by step, best and worst time, a lot of trading psychology, things like that. So, lots of great stuff here in the trading community. You also get Boris's courses.
Yeah. That's good, but there's a question here from Maria, which I really.
Boris, what is this? Can you put up the QR code for joining the trading community?
No, okay, hold on. Just stop. Let me talk. There's a question here from Maria, which is, asking what's the best course.
Okay, what does that have to do with this Apex that you put up?
It just can you stop, please? I'm talking about something. I'll explain in a second.
I think this is the one that we want to use.
Okay, here's the community. Here's the community course. Okay,
this is the community one. So please, join the free trading community. Click on this. Use your screen. Do other QR code. Can you put in the link as well? The Bitly link.
I put in the link, Kate. But okay. I'm trying to do something really important because Maria is asking a question that a lot of people who are new here are asking, and I'm trying to explain something much more important than joining the community. If you would just let me talk, okay? And now I lost the question from Maria.
Well,
okay.
I have the question. So join the community. Which of your courses or books learn fundamentals in deep, just like you? So in the free trading community, which is over here, we also have a trading resources section. So in the trading resources section, there are trading books. So click on the trading books. The book I'm most proud of is Day Trading and Swing Trading the Currency Market. And here's a list of other great trading books. And then we also have links to our fundamental courses. Basically, everything you want and you're asking for, you can find on the free trading community. So make sure you do that. You click on the Bitly link or the QR code that Boris has put in the screen. Put your information in. I'm going to put in the one that I always put. Do not email me at this email. I do not check it. So you can email me if you want, but don't worry. Some of you are asking, as soon as you put on this, it tells you about a very special offer we have. Yes, there's a very special offer we have, but most importantly, it says your access is on the way. Check your email box and you'll get access to the free trading community. So make sure you do that. Now, back to Boris. Let's see, I'll take some questions. Boris, if you want to grab the screen and people are.
I'll let you finish. When you finish, let me know. Just let me know when you finished, okay?
I think, we are good. It seems like everyone made money with me. We had 3 out of 3 good trades. It was most importantly methodical. We laid out the trading plan. We followed the trading plan. I explained the trading plan. It wasn't just, out of the blue. We paired strong with weak, which is very important. I talk a lot about pairing strong with weak and how to do it. So we followed our trading plan. Another good NFP live trading in the books done. And so congratulations to everyone who made money. I'm so proud of you. And, let's make money in gold. Let's make money in Nasdaq. Let's make money in gold. Yes, mom and dad are always fighting, but it keeps things interesting, right?
I'm just because Maria has a really interesting question for people who are serious. Okay,
I agree, but her answer to your question is in the room.
Let me talk. It's okay. If you are serious right now, okay, joining the community is nice, but there is a much more thorough, much better, a truly great course on how to learn fundamentals. If you want to learn how she wins every day, all day long, all the time, how she has a 10-year great track record, all the secrets are in this particular offer, which I want to show you. Okay, I'm going to put the link in here. So if you're serious about this offer is amazing because it gives all of her secrets plus all of my trading, which we're going to do right now, plus Apex is back with giving 80% discounts. So I'm going to buy you 3 prop offers off this offer. So if you really are serious about this is the best offer you're going to be able to get today. And you can start trading with us on a truly professional level. So I'm just going to leave that link for you guys right now.
Do you have a QR code for that link, Boris? Do you have a QR code for that link?
Yeah, I'm gonna put the QR code in just a minute. Hang on a second. Let me just get the proper banner. Just one sec. Let me get the correct 80% off. Okay, here we go. Here's the 80% off on the QR code. This is the QR code for BK Save, but the actual code for my offer, for the actual code for my offer, I don't have the QR code. I'm going to put the link in here right now. We're actually going to have to make the QR code for this. I just realized this. Here's the link. It's in the prescription. So Maria, if you're serious, come join us.
Is it this or is it the Trading 360 link? What is
Sorry?
This? Is it Trading 360?
Maybe the Trading 360 link has it. Correct. This is the same offer in just a different format, and I think I can give. Let me put that over there for you. Here it is. Yes. Here's the offer that you can get on the QR code. It's really, really good.
Yeah, that's the QR code. So you want to use the QR code, but unfortunately the chat box is hiding the QR code.
I'll get rid of it.
The chat box. So not the chat box, but the chat, people's comments.
Yeah, that's okay. It's okay. You can do it like this, and now you can get it.
Yes, that's exactly what you want. We just want to make everyone's lives easy. So just use the QR code, and Boris is right. That is has everything that we do. Okay.
All right. So you're very welcome, Maria, because I know you were looking for very specific information, and I wanted to make sure that you got it. And the fact, and for every Maria, there's probably 10 other people that are wondering what is the really, really good information out of BK. This is the best. This is literally the greatest information. So go out there, go get it. I'm going to talk a lot about what we're doing in prop with all of this stuff. We had a great week this week in prop. We're hitting every one of our trades. It's going to be a little quiet until the market opens up. So we'll give it just a second, but we're going to start trading. I'm going to hang with you guys all the way till probably 11 o'clock today. So we're hopefully going to hit a lot of interesting trades. And today I'm going to reveal to you a way for us to think about how to trade prop and trade your own accounts in a completely interesting way where it doesn't matter what you're doing. The amount of money that you want to try to make is going to be very, very uniform. I'm going to show you how to think about how to put our trading away from money into points. And once you start thinking in terms of points, you're going to be able to make any kind of money that you want, depending on the amount of risk you take. So it's going to be very interesting in terms of how we trade. So I can't wait to start trading with you. Let's see if there's any final questions for Kathy.
Well, I think this is a good opportunity to talk a little bit about our own process. So normally, I only trade news with you guys. I don't trade, normally in our process, we do not trade news. I trade twice a day. I trade at the early New York Open, which is 6:30 a.m. New York time. And then I trade at the Asia Open, which is 8 p.m. New York time. And what I do, I'm going to share my screen real quick because it seems like Boris is waiting for the. I guess part of Boris's process is waiting for the New York Open. Is that correct, Boris?
Yeah. It usually post NFPs. It's very quiet. It's kind of dead. So we're gonna wait 10, 15 minutes. This is a great time for us to ask Kathy any questions you may have, because I know there's a lot of pent up demand for her. Anything else? And then so I'm going to give her the screen. Go ahead.
Right. So basically, the point I want to make is share my chart. I showed you.
Wait, I got it. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I showed you my zip chart. This is the dollar yen zip chart. We are waiting for these white candles, and we're waiting for the white candles to close. This is an example of a white candle close. So in this white candle close, we have euro dollar closing the white candle, and this is right around the New York Open. So we still would have been looking at our trades and managing our trades at that time. So this is a classic buy signal, where we go long when we get the white candle, and you can see it's a beautiful move higher. Now, a good example of another setup is for Swiss. We had some really nice trades this past week as well during the London session. So I don't trade the London session, but what our BK members do is we set our alerts for zip. We have our alerts for zip set up, and we look every morning to see what kind of alerts that we have. So we set up alerts for zip. So our London traders, we had a double zip buy signal, beautiful move lower. This, we're not trading because we do not trade ahead of non-farm payrolls. So knowing when to trade and when not to trade is also very, very important. So we don't trade ahead of non-farm payrolls, and that saves us from losses. So saving yourself from losses is almost just as important as making money. So that is why this is what I do every day. We trade the Asia Open, we trade the New York Open. My other traders trade the London Open. We make sure that we don't trade ahead of key data, and that's how we stay consistent. That's basically how we're able to manage the trades that we have. So, hopefully if you join us and join our community, take advantage of Boris's offer, you will get a sense of how to do that. I will teach you, how to do this as well. And, of course, past performance is not, indicative of future results, but I'll show you a little bit about, how we've been doing. Give me a second. I'm going to paste this in here. So this gives you a snapshot of, how ZIP has been doing. I've been trading ZIP since for longer than 2019, but these results go back to 2019. Very, very consistent performance, 90% win rate. Past performance is not indicative of future results. The most important thing to look at is how we do month on month. Every single month, I target 100 pips a week, which is 300 to 400 pips a month. We do it methodically, just like we laid out our trading plan. And we haven't had a losing month since May of 2023. And that was the only really bad month we had. Previous months, were relatively mild in terms of losses, 76, 15, 60, so forth. And, we just stay consistent. And we stay consistent by making sure that we, looking at the trading community, you will see in the, in the VIP member chat, there's days that we trade, there's days that we don't trade because of specific reasons. So knowing when to trade and when not to trade is very, very important. So hopefully you'll learn my process, learn how we fuse fundamentals. If you have any questions about that, let me know.
Yeah, Kathy's process is amazing. That's why I offer this. Kay, do you think, I don't know if you answered this before, but do you think the Fed will have pressure? Do you think there's a SEP cut coming up?
I don't even need to think. What does the market think? Why do you care about what I think?
Let's see what the market
thinks. Fed fund futures. That is what should be telling you. Now, this is a little delayed, but I can guarantee you. Let's see, based upon X, whether the odds have changed. And I'm almost certain they have increased. Here, well, this is ECB. Let's see what it says about the Fed. Traders resume fully pricing in two Fed rate cuts by the end of 2025. So when the Fed fund futures open, you'll see the market's pricing in two Fed rate cuts. So that's
a big difference. That's pretty double.
Of course, it's a big difference. We talked about this. If it's below 100,000, that would be really bad news. And it was below 100,000. And some of you in my members are saying they couldn't catch the dollar yen move because it moved too much. But it went a lot more. Even if you got in late and you took 20 pips later on, I mean, this move is almost 100 pips. So we went in, we reloaded. Even if you reloaded again, I told you there's continuation. Today's a big day. Fridays are big days. Sometimes it's not. Like last Friday, I said, don't trade anymore because last Friday was a holiday. I don't even remember what holiday it was. It was July 4th holiday.
It's July 4th
on July 3rd. So I said, do not look for more continuation because it's the day before July 4th. People are going to wrap up and go. But today we got nothing going on. So continuation was very likely. So it's very important to be able to understand all of this. All right. This hasn't affected the indices much. I'll let Boris talk about that.
No, it has not. Precisely because remember, what's bad for the dollar is good for stocks. If we're going to get two rate cuts, that's super, super bullish equities because equities are priced off price earnings ratios. And if interest rates are lower, that makes price earnings ratios higher, also makes cost of capital lower. All the things that sort of, Trump's been really pressuring Powell on, that would occur. So it's actually, equities are off 1% in a morning trade due to tariff pressures and due everything else. But if the market reorients itself into thinking that maybe there's two rate cuts coming, that could provide, we could have a reversal day today. We'll talk about, the possibility of a reversal day today as we get into trading. But yes.
So Martin, you have the beginner bundle. The beginner, which is that $75 offer, only includes the ZIP indicators, the lessons, and how to get the ZIP indicators. It does not include the actual trades that we do every single day. But it's a good place to start. If you want more, this offer that Boris has is really great.
And I'll keep repeating this offer. Kay is probably the first time she's ever heard this, but I'll keep repeating this offer.
It is.
which is that anybody who is a beginner, anybody who is a monthly, You want to upgrade to 6 months of everything, including Kathy's fundamental course, which she reveals all her secrets, and all of my coaching for this 6 months deal. I will refund you your last month's payment. So I will upgrade you for no risk to you. It'll be amazing. So you keep asking me this question. I keep telling you that everybody who's coming into I had so much fun in coaching yesterday. I can't tell you how many thank yous I got. Literally 20 people passed their prop test this week and are getting funded. So it's an amazing program. We're all having a great time. Just upgrade, and you'll have everything. You'll never have to ask a question again because everything will be at your fingertips. So I'm making that offer again. Kay is, I'm sure, swallowing her things, but it's really a good deal. I'm really trying to give you guys the best deal I can. So interest rates coming mean less demand for US dollar. So much of that is really dependent on trade flow. It's very hard to predict dollar demand, I think, on longer term basis. But Kay probably would definitely agree with the statement that if lower interest rates certainly going to have some downward pressure on the dollar, right, Kay?
Yeah. I mean, yep. Another mutant that's headed right to our target. What's the low today? 148.56, pretty much right there. The targets aren't random. I mean, basically, it's like, I said it quickly, but really, it's just yesterday's prior lows and highs are very, very important. And it was at least yesterday's low. That's where support is, followed by the next support being the 20 SMA at 147.85. But and I think it will get down to 147.85. I'm not sure if it's going to happen today, but the target wasn't a random number. It was just yesterday's low, which is very important. All right. I think let's maybe, Boris, before you start trading, because can you explain why your time of day is chosen?
You mean why?
Trade? What time do you trade?
So,
what time works best?
The way to kind of understand trading in the best spot. This is Kathy will all very much concur this. The best time to trade is when you have the highest amount of liquidity. Liquidity is just a fancy word for participation. The more people you have participating, the more likely you have price movement. And what we're doing when we're trading is we're trading price movement, right? Especially with me, I don't care whether I go up or down. I just only care that I have movement, that I can ride that movement to profit. So what happens now is, right now we're kind of building up. Everybody absorbed the news. There's two-way traffic. You see, markets are kind of just consolidating between these levels. Once the market opens up, everybody who wants to participate in the market is going to come to the market. And then we're going to try to see what the actual flows are. That in turn is going to translate into directional moves. And I'll show you this on the charts when we get into my trading. Remember, I showed this in coaching. I'll show this to you again. If we have half an hour of continuous flow under our system, there's almost no way that we can lose money. However, if we have half hour of just range bound, absolutely non-flow, non-directional traffic, that's where we get in trouble. And right now, if you look at the chart of Nasdaq, for example, it's just all non-directional flow, which is why I'm staying out of it. So that's a key to what we do. But I'm glad everybody. Kay really killed it today on NFPs. It's super good. We're going to pick it up. It's going to trade Nasdaq. We're going to trade the S&P, try to trade a little bit of gold for everybody's trade. And that's it. I think, is there anything else, Kay, you want to discuss? I think we covered almost everything that we did in the show. Any other questions?
Make sure that you join us for our Monday live stream. We're going to be laying out the game plan for next week as usual. This offer that Boris put out is incredible, and this offer to buy them how many prop trading accounts is not going to last
I'm going to buy you three. I'm going to buy you three because Apex is back with a really steep discount. So this is all the part of the offer that you guys can see on the screen here, including the really key part. It's the fact you guys the Kathy's fundamental fast track course. This is the real secret sauce of what she does. It alone is worth almost as much as the whole offer. So it's an incredible discount deal for this. Plus, as I said, I'm going to buy you 3 prop accounts to get you started.
That's true. So you get my trade ideas every single day. You get the zip alerts. You get all the education on how to use it. You get my fundamentals trading course. You get Boris's live trading, his indicator, my indicator, as well as pass the prop coaching. along with the free prop trading account.
Yeah.
So it's incredible.
All the good stuff. I have everybody in coaching is just having a blast. So come join us. And then of course, obviously, if you're an FX trader, you get to spend all this time with Kathy. Great. Elgato. Nice, baby. Do it and I'll take care of you right away. Very nice. Okay. So I think we're pretty much covered everything. It's time to kind of get focused on the markets. It's time for me to showcase to everybody exactly how trend scalping works and how we do what we do. So I'm going to take over the screen here, Kay, if you don't mind.
No problem. All right. So what's on Kimmy is getting 2 of these. Elgato is signing up today. I'm so happy to see that. Make sure you click on that QR code. And Yolanda is signing up. Great. It's a great time to be signing up because Monday we're gonna have a brand new trading week. And what's really great, in my opinion, is that next week is not like this week. We don't have all this crazy data that's gonna stop us from trading. There's gonna be, it's kind of almost free reign because we have no major data. So we're gonna be trading every single day for the most part.
Right. Yeah, no, it's awesome. I will say this, guys. My daughter is doing her summer camp performance. She's the lead in Mary Poppins. So I will not be with you on Monday. I have higher things to do, but then I will be with you for the rest of the week. So we'll hang out and trade.
But you guys can hang out with me on Monday and we just
hang out with Kathy on Monday.
Yes.
Right. Exactly. All right. So anyways, we'll get started. Thank you again, Kay, for everything. Thank you for hanging out. I'm going to start talking to you. Let's talk a little bit about how we trade, what we do. Let me reorient myself a little bit over here. Just give me a sec. I want to get the right. I need to get the right banner for you guys so you are good to go. I think this one, right? Okay. And then let me put myself into the right structure. This one. Okay. So now everybody can see the screen and we can talk a little bit about everything that's going on. Okay. Okay, you know what? Hang on a second. Kay's telling me. Hang on. Okay, how about this? Okay, here we go. Here's the deal. That's the deal up there. Go up there, go get it. Okay, everybody good? Everybody having a fun time? Everybody enjoying? I'm ready to show you everything that we're doing in scalping. So many of you are probably new. So a lot of you are coming from FX land. Some of you don't hang out with me. So if you have never hung out with us, I'm going to give you a 1-second description of what trend scalping is all about. This is a proprietary indicator that I wrote myself. It's available on TradingView and it's available on Wealth Charts. Okay, on Wealth Charts today we're going to trade the S&P. On TradingView we're going to trade Nasdaq. It's the exact same indicator. We're the only ones that have it on both platforms. And any of you who want to sign up for Wealth Charts, of course, be my guest. Just simply go into Apex, sign up Wealth Charts. Great platform. We love this platform, and we're one of the few people that have our proprietary indicators on that platform. By the way, there are people who've asked me, how do you get the indicator on the Wealth Charts platform? Once you sign up for our coaching, or the offer deal that you see over here where you unlock the deal, all you got to do will enable you. We will enable you. Then you go to add indicators. You're going to go to marketplace and you're going to see yours truly. And if you see Boris Schlossberg, you can click the dots only or the scalper. The dots only is the one that I'm trading because that's the simple version of the indicator. And you'll have that right on your Wealth Charts program. So let me run you through and just explain to you step by step what is a trade, what is a trend scalp trade under our conditions. What you see over here is the 200 period SMA is changing colors. The change in color is the change in slope. So in this particular case, the slope is red. If we have a red slope, as a matter of fact, we got to set up. We have something setting up right now. So this is a perfect example to show you what is a trade. If we have these 3 following conditions: red slope, red candle, red dot, and the prior candle does not have a red dot, that is a sell signal for us. The exact opposite is the other way around. Green slope, green candle, green dot. The prior candle does not have any kind of a dot to it. that is a buy condition. You can see how well this works both ways in the chart just by me marking. This is a buy, 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 this is a buy. This is the only buy that misses. This is the only buy. So we have like four winning buys. And generally, the rule of thumb is if we have 3 continuous winning buys in a row, which is pretty much what we do, we pause because what we're trying to capture in a trend scalp condition is scalping trend to the upside, scalping trend to the downside, right? So that is what we do all day long. And that allows us to have literally 3 to 4 trades per hour per instrument, right? And if we trade for a couple of hours, we could have maybe 10, 11 trades in an hour. That's how easy it is to be able to bank points or bank ticks because we're trading futures with us. Now today, since I'm really going to kind of not really trade much until the markets open up, let's talk a little bit about how you can make money in a very methodical way with my approach. Generally we always talk about, I'm going to trade for dollars. I'm going to make $100 per trade. I'm going to make $50 per trade. I'm going to make $30 per trade. I'm going to try to make $500 per day or $1,000 per day. And I think it's an incredibly confusing and unnecessary way to think about trading, our strategy. I'm going to give you a new paradigm of how to think about this that's going to make it so easy for you to figure out how much risk and how much reward you want to go for. Instead of thinking about dollars, I want you to just simply think about either points or ticks. But let's just talk about points because I think people are going to, it just gets a little too confusing when you start talking about ticks in the futures business. In Nasdaq, and I'm going to use Nasdaq as my prime example because Nasdaq is our best strategy. In Nasdaq, we try to go for 4 points per trade. Okay, so imagine the following thing: instead of trying to figure out how much money I want to make, just say to yourself, I want to make 15 points or 20 points. I want to make 20 points per day, right? I just want to make 20 points. After my losses, after my wins, after everything I do, I'd love to have net 20 points of Nasdaq wins per day, right? Once you sort of focus on points, first of all, you eliminate the whole idea of, I lost $10 here, I lost $100 here. You stop thinking in terms of dollars, and you just focus on making points. Then you flip over and you decide how much reward you want to have per point. If you trade one mini lot, one mini S&P, right? And you're trying to go for 20 points. Each point is worth $20. So that means you are now targeting $400 per day out of the mini S&P. If you do it on a micro, it's $40. Anywhere between 40 and 400 is your opportunity to figure out how much reward you want to go for. Stop, and you do the same thing in S&P. Let's say in the S&P you say, I want to go for each S&P point is on the mini is worth $50, right? So let's say I want to make 4 S&P points today. I just want to make 4 S&P points. That's $200 on one mini. Thinking in terms of points instead of dollars is going to really, really ground you into doing the right thing continuously. And it's going to take you out of this whole, deer in headlights position of like, I'm risking $1,000, I'm risking $100, I'm risking this, I'm losing this much money. Ignore the money, focus on points. That's my my offer to you. And I think you're going to be mentally and financially much better off if you start doing that. Now, I'm not going to do that with you today because, today, generally when I trade with you guys, it's for entertainment purposes. It's there to show you how to do the setup, because my job is to really, really, really teach you the setup. And then you yourself take it and convert it into winning trades, into winning accounts, stuff like that. The reason the reason why that's very important is because when I trade myself, I'm not talking, I'm not yapping, I'm not explaining. It's like, if I'm driving Grand Prix, I'm not teaching you a driving lesson, right? So what I found is that so my point is that I'm going to trade very, very small because I don't want to screw up my own accounts. So my whole methodology is to show you the trade setups over and over again, because it's not about how much money I make. I show you all my accounts. You guys see how many funded accounts I have. You see everything. Funded. 2 accounts that I'm gonna try and get funded in the next week or so that I'm running too. I'm happy to show you everything I do, but it doesn't matter what I do, because it matters what you achieve. And my job is to show you as many many good ways to do that. So I'm going to trade small because I'm doing entertainment trading with you guys. Okay, I'm not driving the F1 formula. When I'm trading myself, nobody's talking to me. Nobody's doing anything. I am zoned the fuck in, and that is how you need to be when you're trading. Okay, so that's going to be the new approach we're going to do. And I'm just going to basically try to shoot for points with you guys on a micro level. So anyways, what do we have right now? Nothing. We got 20 minutes before the market open. We don't have any setups. The slope is negative. The candle is positive. It's not even remotely close to our setup. On the S&P, same kind of a thing. If you guys want to, some of you guys wanted to do gold. So let's do wealth charts on gold. Let's create. The great thing about wealth charts, as you can see over here, is we can open up multiple tabs. Okay, let's go over here, log in. And I'm going to change this to MGCZ, right? Gold, December gold on a micro level. This is actually a setup. So in this particular case, let's do this. We got a setup. The setup in gold we're going to do for 832. So 8/10 to a point. Let's go buy. And we're in the trade on gold. So why is this a setup in gold? We have positive slope, positive green candle, positive green dot, right? And let's go over here. I'm going to go to, over here. I want to put this to MGCZ, Z, gold. And it will tell us where we're in. We're in at 334.09. 1.7 is our exit point, right? Now, most of you guys know I despise trading gold. It's just kind of a very, very spiky instrument. And the only time I would ever want to trade gold is when I'm just zoned in. Those of you guys who really want to trade gold, I'm actually thinking of creating gold-only sessions during Asia when we get the opportunity. But here's a perfect example. Boom, we made money, on gold. That's basically 8/10 of a point our way. So let's say I want to make, 3 points in gold today, just for argument's sake. Let's think in terms of making points. Now I make, 0.8 of a point in gold. 2-3 more trades for us to go. Let's say I want to make two points in gold today. Let's see if I can get that target. We'll start thinking in those terms. It's going to make it a lot easier for you to understand it. Oh, look at this. Joe said he funded the 50K account on gold on NFP News. That's great. That's great. That's great. Yeah, it's the same offer, Olu. It's the same offer. It's the exact same offer. It's the best offer there is. What does the purple dot mean? The purple dot is a variant of a red dot. It simply means a higher low. A white dot means a lower high. So it's a positive. White dot is a positive buy breakout dot. Purple is a negative red breakdown dot, but it comes from a higher level than the prior green dot. So just telling you basically this is coming from the highest point and this is coming from the lowest point, right? It just simply orients you on the chart. So it's the same class of dots as the greens, and the purple is the same class of dots as the reds. It just means that it's just coming from a higher level, right? So you're not shorting lower lows. You're actually getting short signals on higher lows. And that's an important thing for more nuanced strategies that we want to have down the road. Okay. Cool. Oh, I have a sell. Sell in NAS selling NAS right now. I'm taking the sell. Why do I have the sell? I'm a little bit late on the trade here, which is annoying. But let's see if I can make this trade. Why do I have the sell? For a very, very simple reason. We have red slope, red dot, negative momentum candle, and no momentum prior to that. So that means, this. Now, the problem with this trade that I just made is I was late because I'm yapping. And this is exactly what I mean about me yapping. So I should have been in here on this trade. I would have already been out. Fortunately, the momentum of the market lets me out. As another winning trade for us. But again, I want to show you multiple trades, because if you understand my trade setup, you will then succeed in trading. That's why we're going to trade tiny little trades on my account, because I'm talking and driving at the same time. Okay, I'm not, when I'm trading, you don't have Brad Pitt in F1 narrating how he's driving while he's driving the race, right? You got to focus, like any athlete. You got to focus on your task in hand. And since I'm not focusing because I'm just yapping around, I'm flipping around from charts, I just decided I'm going to do everything micro with you guys from now on. Does that make sense? Trading is done on a 2-minute chart only. Yes, Randy. So let's review step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Step 1, 2-minute chart. Step 2, red slope. Step 3, red candle. Step 4, red dot. Step 5, prior candle does not have any dots to it. Go. Right? Go. Let's do this on gold. Step 1, green slope. Step 2, green candle. Step 3, green dot. Step 4, prior candle does not have any dot. Go. Right? That's what we do. Go. Because what we're looking for is the point at the start of the breakout, or the point at the start of a breakdown. That's what makes the trade. It's like the bottom of the wave, and we're going to totally get swept up. That's what trend scalping is all about. It's about catching the, what's the opposite of a crest of a wave? The bottom of the wave? I don't even know what the fuck it is. And just riding it really quickly into profit. Very good, Ben. What are you trading today on a single signal? Staring at charts will make you freak out. Why not algo trading? I don't know where to start with that. MNQ, good job. First of all, because if you just do continuous algo trading, you're always going to lose. Do you know why? FS? Why do you think you're always going to lose? I always love it when people go, why not just trade algo trading all the time? I've never met a pure algo trader that makes continuous money especially on a short-term basis. Now, don't get me wrong. If you have $1 billion, fastest computers, and can cheat your way to the first execution, which is what every high-frequency trader does. High-frequency trading firms use billions of dollars to front run. Okay, front running is essentially cheating your way to price. You know where the price is, the other guy does not, and you grab it before he has a chance to grab it, because you are 100% certain that the price on the other end of it is higher. Okay, that's not what we do, because we have to take a risk, and the risk requires assessment and human judgment. But the real reason, honestly, besides that, is that our friends at Apex don't allow, they don't want algo trading. So Apex does not allow it. That's exactly the point. So actually, let me show you. My friends at Apex have gone back to 80% off. So let me put that link in here, which is awesome. And as I said, if you guys get the offer, I will gladly get you 3 Apex accounts as a result of it. We're in the prop business, FX, FS. So there are a lot of people here who are probably coming from a place where they don't understand what prop trading is all about. So let me take a minute to understand what prop trading is all about. Prop trading is where you do not risk your own money, FS. It's not your own account. You're spending 20 bucks, 30 bucks to buy a simulation account. You trade that, you hit their target. If you pass their test, you actually get a real trading account where you get to take the same $50,000 and make money with it. And if you do, you get paid out. That is why we love prop trading. It's a way to get paid from the market for minimal cost. So if you've never tried this, I guarantee you, if you buy 10 of these and fail, you will spend 1/50th, 1/100th of the money you will lose in your own account. What I mean by that is that it's so cheap relative to you lose $1,000 on one single trade in your own account in a minute in trading futures, for example. You couldn't lose $1,000 trading prop in a month if you tried. If you tried, like if you just did every stupid thing in the world, you couldn't do that. So the ability to be able to learn how to trade, the ability to get paid for your learning is amazing. That's why we're such proponents. And the best guys in the world is our friends at Apex, where, you can see, 20, 30 bucks buys you a $50,000 account with my discount. So go ahead and get these discounts. Yes, it does. It does. It does allow one. You can do one trade, my friend. Apex are really liberal in their approaches. You could, so like I'm sure Joe probably took one trade on gold and hit that account today. Yeah. So that that's why I wanted to introduce you to our friends. How much is a dot indicator? Madam Ho, this is the offer. I'm going to put the link in here again. This is for 6 months. You get the whole dots indicator. You get all of Kathy. You get all of our trading. It's the best deal around. This is it. This is the only way you're going to get the dot indicator. It's super cheap. Oh, Weisel just made 6 points in a day. Could be done for the day. Back to the real job for now. Good job, my friend. Yay. I love to see that. Awesome. All right, we're 5 minutes to the open. Gold continues to pop. So why is gold doing well, guys, today? Gold is really trending nicely. And look, by the way, talk about trend scalp conditions. Winner. We're in a trend scalp. We're in a beautiful trend scalp condition structure, even for gold, even for the instrument that I hate, because we have true news flow. Look what I tell you. I said, when we have a hour-long, 90-minute long, 30-minute long, continuous green slope move, there is no way we can lose money. There's no way we can lose money with our setup, because the setup naturally buys all the breakout points in that trend, right? The hard part is to be able to be in this big continuous wave. But the continuous wave is easier to anticipate under fundamental conditions. And today, fundamental conditions are much more favorable towards gold, because now the market is pricing 2 interest rate cuts. Gold always rallies when interest rates go down, because gold is a competitor to interest rates, right? So lower interest rates, the more attractive it makes gold as an instrument. All right, let's see what what Nasdaq is doing. Nothing much. We're just kind of quiet. So we'll see. Nasdaq, as I said, seems to be finding support here at this 23,000 level. Let's see if they test it first, or if they're going to round it around it and see if we can take it back up on the 27th, right? Yes, Ali, those of you guys who are still waiting on wealth charts, I'm going to speak to Rob today. I sent them all the emails, and just make sure that we'll get that organized. I'll make sure that everybody is activated by this weekend. Okay. Joe says, was one big trade, got me super close, switched to micros and got it. Yeah, that's a great strategy. It's what I talk about in trading, in coaching the whole time. How do we know how to trade gold December? I explained that in coaching yesterday. You have to go to the CME. If we have a little bit of a break today, I'll explain it. Yeah, I sent you a link, Andy. I sent you a link back. All right, what do we got here? It's 9:24. We still got 5 minutes to the open. Let's see what everybody's talking about on the sort of analysis of the NFPs. All right. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, let's let me look at let's look at the headlines. Let's see if we have any analysis on. Kalshi 25 basis point cut, 78%, 25 basis point cut. Okay. I think, guys, Trump too little, too late, Jerome. Yeah. I gotta say, the interesting or the more dangerous part. Oh, we had a trade in the S&P, which I just missed, but generally we don't trade 5 minutes before the market is open. So so this is just show you why was this a good trade. Red slope, red candle, red dot. Prior candle did not. If we were short here on the close, which was 225, our target is just 3/4 of a point, and it went all the way down to 300. It went down two points on this move, right? So it would have been a very, very easy S&P trade. S&P actually, I think the S&P, is the S&P lower? No, S&P is not. Nasdaq is lower than the S&P. I was just interested. It's interesting to see. So Nasdaq is still weaker than the S&P, but Nasdaq is fighting a little bit of support here at the 23,000 level. So we'll see how that works out. 3 minutes left. Yes, there was. I sent you an email. I'll double check Wasil, but I sent you an email. But don't worry, everybody who's in coaching, it's all recorded. And I just didn't get a chance to do it last night. I'm gonna render the tape and post it for you guys this afternoon, and email everybody who's on that list to get access to the recording session. Okay, but definitely check because I sent out the emails twice a day, the day of. Just make sure that you do not unsubscribe to us. If you unsubscribe to our communication, there's no way I can communicate with you. This is a problem I have with some people. Okay, so if you're not getting our email, it's always because you unsubscribe. So double check that. 2 minutes to the start. Let's see if they want to pump and dump it. Always the first 5 minutes of trade is interesting. Shall we say the last? It's always, I think, highly manipulative. So we just sit here, wait and watch. Which is another reason, by the way, FS, why you don't trade algos, because algos can't understand manipulation at all. They can't understand that the first 5 minutes there's a lot of orders stacked. Dealers are on one side. They want to move prices one way or the other. There's a lot of fake out. There's just basically a lot of lying. Algos are very, very poor at understanding lying, right? That's what human beings are for. Do I expect equities to go up today? No, but I do expect them to recover from the lows. But honestly, I don't know, Santiago. We're coming from a very high level. Trump is pushing tariff news. Labor is kind of clearly slowing down. The revisions were brutal to the downside. The only thing that's supporting equities right now is the promise or the prospect of the Fed cutting rates. But who knows if Powell is going to do that? He may be, he may not be willing to do that. Although I think at this point the pressure is quite strong. You can yell at Trump all you want, but he was absolutely right about the fact that you needed to have a supportive interest rate structure. Not the least of which for the housing market, which is a key market in the U.S. economy. So now we're popping up. We got 30 seconds to the open. They're cranking it. Is this a V-shaped recovery? We'll see. I'm not going to hold my breath. We're certainly not going to chase this trade. It's a bullshit trade. Even if it works, it's a bullshit trade. So this trade, in normal sense, is okay. We have a white dot, which is a green buy breakout. We have green slope, green candle. We could buy this, and I'm pretty sure it would make target. I'm pretty sure it would make target, or maybe it wouldn't. And this is exactly why we don't do it. You see how it just, they pump it and they dump it. It's a very, very clean, clear fake out structure. Now, 2-3 minutes into the trade, that's when we finally get some semblance of directionality. And once we get some semblance of directionality, then we can orient ourselves into trading properly, right? No, I don't look at day charts. Remember, we are trend scalping. Our job is to make points. We don't make directional calls. We will, I can be bearish for the first 20 minutes and then bullish for the next 20 minutes. I am completely agnostic as to my positionality. Look at this reversal, guys. Pump, dump. Wow. So this kind of emblematic, price action that we see. It's very important to let it settle down. This is, somebody's going to be winning this tug of war. You don't need to be, you don't need to just jump in to find out. Let them sort it out a little bit, and then get into a directional move. So unlike all the other times where I love to jump in at the open, we're going to just let this thing do its thing, and trade out a little bit. Maybe even the first 5-10 minutes, we'll let the whole thing go. You see how everything is just kind of moving up and down the whole time, right? Where's my friend? My friends at gold. No signals for us there. Gold kind of hitting that top at the 3410 level. So we'll see what it wants to do there. And the S&P also yanking up and down. Now it looks like we're starting to really develop a downward trend. I would have jumped into this S&P trade right now, but I'm going to hold back. I'm actually, what I want to do? I want to go to MESU. I promised you I'm only going to trade micros. So let me just trade micros on this thing, because what is this? MESU. Okay. So this would have been, a legitimate trade, but again, I didn't want to trade the first 2 minutes of the market because it's very, very volatile. But because why was this a legitimate trade? We had a flip where we had a red dot, red signal, red candle. The prior one was a green dot. Now I said to you, no dot or the opposite dot is the rule. So we went short here. Clearly we're dumping. And clearly we're dumping on Nasdaq here. But hey, actually, this is a Nasdaq. This is actually a trade in Nasdaq, right? Red slope, red dot, no dot prior. So Nasdaq actually is a trade for us. Let's give it a shot. If this thing holds, it's got to hold at this level. It can't rally back up. So the dot has got to stay in place. If the dot stays in place, we got 31 seconds left. We're going to short this. See if the dot stays in place, because they're buying up the candle, so the dot may go away. We're going to wait till the close of the candle for sure. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's make sure the candle closes properly. Okay, short. We're short there, and we're done. In and out. That's it. See, setup, structure, hill. Another 4 points to the good. So now we're 8 points on Nasdaq. Let's see if we can make at least 15 points in trading. That's what we're going to do. We just target those things. Anybody take the Nasdaq trade with me? Anybody hit the Nasdaq? Now, A lot of you guys are new. Like, Boris, why are you taking so little trade? Because that's the way I trade. I trade short, consistent profits. You don't have to. There's lots of guys in the room who are going to use my structure and take 3, 4, 5 times what I do with bigger stops and bigger ideas because they're more directional. They're basically using my entry from a very directional point of view. They're going to say, oh, I think, until it breaks a 200 SMA, it's a short. So I'm going to enter on this trade and maybe even multiple times enter if I get multiple signals. There's a lot of different ways to trade my setup. But what I'm doing is I'm trading a very, very specific structured setup to help you trade. Lee, good job. Yeah, so Stacy, there's always a YouTube delay, which is why I narrate, right? 30 seconds before I always say to you, hey, there's a setup, right? Now you have to have my indicator on. You have to be part of coaching to be able to take that trade. So if you're sort of trying to follow me just off your own charts, you're going to be at a big disadvantage. That's why I said to you, you guys want the deal. This is the best deal you can get. You get this deal. Let me put the link in here. I will. You'll be able to trade directly side by side with me the whole time. I put the link in here. Okay, Stacy. Nas hit from Costa Rica. Nice. Keith hit the winner. Good job. Keith, by the way, I think has the best name for this trade. He calls it the pause trade because the idea is you have a pause and then you have a momentum move. And it's that combination of pause momentum that creates incredibly cool, high probability of winning trades. All right, gold. So here we are in gold. Gold is kind of interesting, right? This is one of the reasons why I'm always a little bit dubious on gold. So like right now, we have a red slope. You see, we have a red slope, red dot. This is a absolutely reasonable counter trend trade in gold. I have red slope, red dot. Prior thing is not. I'm going to wait. I'm going to see if gold sort of corrects itself a little bit for me to the other side. But the dot has got to stay in place in order for us to trade this. The trade would have been over here at. I could have taken this trade over here at 99, and it's down to 96. Oh, wow, it's really moved. I didn't realize it moved that much. Okay, 25 seconds on gold. Again, you guys are watching it on delay, so by the time I hit it, you guys are going to be in delay. But this is if this trade closes with a red dot, it's a sell. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2, 1, sell. All right, we're short the trade. I'm short at 97. It's up against me. And the target is 96.2. Let's see if it wants to come down to 96.2. 96.2, and we're there. Come on. Jesus fucking Christ. All right, so we're done. So in gold, we're now 1.5 points to the good. 1.5 points to the good in gold. In Nasdaq, we have 8 points that we hit. So now we're just watching that. Guys, I'm going to be done with gold, and I'm going to just watch. I'm going to trade Nasdaq and the S&P for the next few trades because I think gold is everybody got their little juice and gold. So let's see. We got definitely at least an hour of trade. Let's see how many points in Nasdaq we can pick up. How many points in S&P we can pick up. I love gold. Yes. Yes. DC was a winner. Yes. I love gold the way I love getting a root canal without Novocaine. That's how much I love gold. 940. Let's see if we get any continuity trades here. So we're breaking the 2300. That's pretty natural. It's a very magnetic range, but not a lot of deceleration just yet. Let's see. Maybe they're building up some sell offers here. Let's see if they want to push it further down. Now, here I have a setup. We have a setup here in NAS, right? Because all the things are aligning with us. Red slope, red candle, red dot, prior thing not. This is a setup trade. So I'm just going to leave this on here. And if the red dot stays in place, we're going to trade this. Good job on that, Wasil. Sorry, there was a question here from Max. No, the opposite. They love it. I mean, Apex loves it. I don't give a shit about other prop firms because that's our partner. That's how we enjoy. I mean, all the other prop firms create all sorts of bullshit, blocking reasons for why. They create all sorts of rules to make you fail. Apex, the reason we love them is because they have the least amount of rules and the most flexible. They paid out. I met with their executives this week. Actually, this week I met with them, and they told me they paid out over $500 million in payouts already over the last 3 years. Just it's an insane amount of money how much they paid out. So that's why we love them because they're not about creating artificial bullshit rules. Yes, this one applies to every all the months afterwards. It's a really good discount. Yes, it does. On this 80% deal, I believe this is true. 6-7 seconds left watching this trade. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sell. And done. That was so fast that I'm not. Let me show you. Let me just sort of show you because I removed the labels. But you see that? Sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy. These are all winning trades. So 3 trades in a row. That is 16 points. No, sorry, fuck. It's 12 points. Yeah. If I could only remember remedial math, I would really be a genius. So let me get the execution labels off. So the point is that's already 12 points to the good in Nasdaq. 1.5 points in gold. Those are, just great stats. If you were trading one mini contract in Nasdaq, right, you already would be $250 to the good in the 10 minutes that we've been trading. And you can imagine how profitable that is. We have news at 9:45 and 10. Thank you for letting me know. Let's take a look at what the news is today. Let's go to Forex Factory. We have ISM. We have ISM behind us. Okay, so let's wait. Everything is all fucked up this week. Yeah, the ISM Manufacturing and Services is actually next week. I totally forgot because it's April. So we got a minute 33 on final manufacturing. This is a key thing. I think this is actually quite important. We really need manufacturing to succeed because the whole reorientation of the U.S. economy is towards manufacturing now. So we really need manufacturing to perform better if you believe in this, Trump reorientation. That's really what it's all built on. So if that's weak, that's going to be quite damaging. So let's see. That's in 10 minutes. This one is a kind of a non-important one, but still, we'll see what it shows us. Good job, Wasil. Man, you're really cranking it. You are really cranking it. I would, take a break. I know you want to. I know you said you're going to go to your real job. Go to your real job. You banked some really, really nice pips. Yes, they're moving like twins today. You're right. They're really, really moving like twins. That's why I can only trade one at a time because it's so hard. Okay, so 25 seconds on manufacturing. Let's see what it wants to operate. Let's see where we're at. 12 seconds left. Okay. Pending. 49.8. So just mildly better. Maybe ISM goes to 50. 50 is the boom bust. So in 50 minutes, we'll take a look and see if ISM wants to do something for us. In the meantime, no trades because we just now we're starting to really break the 23 level. Now it's going to be interesting because I think we break down to the 23 to 22.9, maybe even 22.8, consolidate, probably try to resume some sort of an upward trend, and then 23 is going to become resistance. I think on this point. Here's same idea. All these great trades on Nasdaq. Yeah, you guys are really, those of you guys who are just short Nasdaq, short S&P are killing it right now. And it's not like that my setup can't create long-term trend ideas. It's just that I'm doing micro scalping of the method I'm showing you. But if, as I said to you, if you just simply took this one trade with a stop at the 200, you had an incredible entry here for 94, 30 points of the S&P. Like if you like to do one trade with lots of points, this trade would have been awesome. Pretty clear. Today, good news days when there's meaningful news is like one of the best setups for us, because all we want is continuous red lines or continuous green lines. We get those, as I said, every single setup is a winner. This 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 is a winner. So like 5 consecutive winner scalps off the setup. Exactly. Have a great weekend, man. Enjoy a beer. Good job. So Wazil says, it could have loaded up on any of these trades and passed multiple accounts, but I think it's more important to be consistent and trade the way. Yes, you do. You do. That's good. It's you're showing a degree of maturity that yours truly and everybody else is missing. So good for you. I'm glad you took that properly. Okay, we're just chilling. Any questions from anybody? Let me put the comments back on. One-click trading on wealth charts. Okay, so let's go to wealth charts. Okay, wealth charts automatically sets up one-click trading. You have the trade bar. You have this little thing called bracket settings. Once you have as a matter of fact, I have the setup right now. Let's do this. It's gold, micro gold. We have a setup in micro gold. So I'm going to sell this. Why am I selling this? Because I have a red dot, red slope. The prior thing was a green dot. Where am I? 96.7 is my entry. So what you see here in terms of one-click trading, right? Which now going against me, because what I said I wasn't going to trade gold. I wasn't going to trade gold. You guys made me trade gold again. All right, this is the reason why I hate trading gold. Let's see if this works for me. But anyways, the way you set this up is you go into bracket settings and you take profit, you said your stop loss, click them both, say close, and it remembers it. It just remembers it all for you. Okay, totally. So it totally remembers the move. Oops. What's going on over here? Okay, so we're in this trade. We're done. Look at this. Look at this. All right, this was clearly Providence telling me take your chips and go. So 888, that is 2.5 points of gold, right? 2.5 points of gold. That's $250 on one regular gold contract. In 1, 2, 3, what is that? 9:12 to 9:48, half hour, $250 on just one gold contract, So now I'm going to close this up. I'm literally going to leave it because if I don't have it on there, I won't be trading it. Oh, we missed a S&P trade here. Let's sell this. Okay, sell this. I'm in the S&P and I'm done on the S&P. So let me explain to you why I took this S&P trade late. First of all, I have a setup here, right? Everybody sees I have a clean, clear setup. I have a dot. I have a prior thing, not a dot. I have a red candle. I have a red slope, right? All conditions set up for momentum to the downside. When I'm looking at the chart, because I'm late, and again, I'm late because I'm yapping, I'm doing other trades. The price that is current is above the closing price over here, which would be my entry price. So it's a better price. It's a better price than what I would have gotten if I did the proper trade. If I have a setup and an opportunity for a better price entry, definitely take it, because that only enhances your chances of winning. Okay, it just enhances your chances of winning. So that's why I took it without hesitation. So now we're like 3 S&P points, 2.5 points in gold, and 12 points in Nasdaq. And now we're going to just focus on Nasdaq and trade Nasdaq. See if we get the Nasdaq low. Did not have a setup in Nasdaq, but had the setup in the S&P. Interesting. Right, S&P was a funny. Yeah, Rob is saying you guys are showing me setup, and that's great. You remember I'm going to be missing setups because I'm yapping. I'm answering questions. I'm trading other different stuff. I'm answering platform questions. Are the dots your strongest? Yes. 8 figures. How many trades did I win already for you today? I won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trades in a whopping 35 minutes. That's like a what is that? That's a winner every 4 minutes. So I'd say that's a pretty good indicator. Yeah, I'm banking cash, baby. That's the game. It's there's a process to it. It's not like we took years of trying to get this thing done the way it is. And that's why I'm always saying to you guys, if you really want the indicator, you want the coaching, you want the whole process, you want the ability to be able to get free accounts, just come to coaching. We had so many new people enter. Yes, yesterday was a great session because the more people come into coaching, the better questions we have, the better quality of conversation we have, the better ideas we have, and we always incorporate new ideas from traders to make our setups even better. So definitely come hang out with us. I see a couple of people already came in. Do it now because I don't know how long this discount is going to last. So I can only buy you like 3 apexes as long as the discount lasts. So come in and get there. Okay, that's fine, Andy. Good job. Email me if you have any issues. Stay out of chop. Yeah, I'm pretty much staying out of chop right now. Right now, I'm actually going to stay very quiet for the next 7 minutes because I want to see what the manufacturing data comes in. After 10 o'clock, we generally get the much better movement. Although we've had pretty good movement since 9:30. Did I tell you guys, if I have half an hour of continuous green or red movement, I cannot fucking lose. I cannot lose. Winner. That's the beauty of my setup. The big question is if, right? It's not like I can promise you that I have continuity. But if I have continuity like this, it makes my setup super easy to succeed because it's going to catch those moves. Hey, Gloria, welcome. How are you? We're having a good day. We've done like what is that? 12 S&P points, 2.5 Nasdaq points, 12 Nasdaq points, 2 S&P points, and 2.5 gold points. So we're done with gold. We'll see if we do anything more in the S&P, but we're trying to focus a little bit on Nasdaq here on trading. Oh, Andy, I just see your email. Andy, I gave the refund. The way this works is I refund you the purchase price. You already have the funds. It's in the refund. Go check the PayPal account that you paid from. There's a refund in there, and you can use that for the funds. Okay, that's how it works. Because I can't purchase in your name. That's illegal. So I can only give you refunds, and you can use that money to go purchase your own accounts. Just kind of, you guys have to. That's how it works. All right, we got 5 minutes to PMI ISM manufacturing. Market finding a little bit of a bid at this 22,900. My view is that if we can get better manufacturing, maybe we a little bit consolidate. They start to have maybe we have like a half hour to 45-minute counter trend rally, at which point we should have a couple of interesting opportunities to the opposite side. 3 minutes 22 seconds for all of the we have U of M expectations, everything. Okay. All right, 3 minutes left on this. Let's see if anybody has any comments on Twitter that are interesting. Okay. Oh, wow. That's interesting. Really? That's it. That is, I've been saying this for a while, that the reason why labor data was constantly underestimated was because the freeze of the flow from the border has absolutely created a labor shortage. And native-born Americans have been picking up that labor. That's why you're starting to see the increase in that. We'll see if that maintains. That's kind of an interesting stat. I didn't see that anywhere else on the story. Let's see if there's anything else over here. Yeah, that's a big revision down. This is to me like sort of the interesting thing on this. I think this plus this really puts the pressure. So this and this really puts the pressure on Powell to cut in September. I think he's going to have to just come in there. Thank you, Rob. Everybody having a great time, enjoying the weekend, enjoy barbecues, enjoy have funs. Oh, this is really great. Thank you, Gloria. Oops, what did I just do here? Oops, I lost you. There we go. That's really great to know. That is awesome. Okay, 23 seconds left. Let's see how the ISM is gonna print. Yeah, that's that's an issue. We'll see if that's going to be an issue. Let's see where things go. All right, 4 seconds. Final manufacturing, pending. I guess we have this has like a 5-second delay, so I have to 40. Ooh, ugly ISM manufacturing. Wow, prices, construction spending down. Wow, 64 on prices. Prices are down. Sentiment 61.7. U of M expectations 4.5. Okay, that's ugly. That's really, let's see what the market is doing here. So we're starting to come down a little bit more. More negative signals on the Nasdaq off this data. This is a setup for us. It's a clean setup for us. We're going to give it a shot if it stays in play. I will say this. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to give it a shot. This may work, but here's where the human element and my own interpretive element comes in. The reason why I'm a little bit leery of this particular move here is because we've already had 4 consecutive winners in a row. When we have like 4 consecutive winners in a row, I usually like to pause. Because remember, we're trading with pretty negative risk reward ratio. There's no reason to take a trade unless I have really high confidence that it's going to decline. So if I was trading my own account, I would not be taking this trade, even though it's a very, very clean, clear setup, because it really looks to me like this is a climax sell, right? It needs to just sort of come in. So I will, I'll pause, but give it 5-10 minutes. If we have new developments, I'll take the next trade. You kind of have to pause the pause trade. I like to pause the pause trade after 3 consecutive winners in a row. Where's my countdown clock? Right here. Here's my countdown clock. So we didn't take this trade, and I'm pretty sure it probably would have done it. We came in at 14.25, so we would need to see 10. Like if this comes down to 10, the trade would have been done. But at the same time, if it goes up to 20, it goes up to 30, we would have been out there. So trade might have been, trade would have been. We would have gotten the trade done on a just a bare continuity move. But my general instinct that this is a climax sell is not wrong so far, and that's what I mean about having interpretive ideas of how you want to do this. Wazil says that let's take a look at the S&P. The S&P would have been a really, really good trade here. We missed this S&P trade move here to the downside. So I'm sorry, I'm just focusing on NAS. We can watch the S&P a little bit now, see what it wants to do. But I'm just curious on the no, Nasdaq still continues to go down. So I held off my firepower. It would have been a good trade, just again because I thought it was really a little bit oversold. But no harm, no foul. The S&P would have been a really good trade to the downside right here. I missed this trade. Oh, because I know why I missed this trade. Because I couldn't have taken this because this was on the news. This was a signal on the news. We wouldn't have traded this anyways. This was just news event taking us into the trade. And that would have been just pure gambling. So even though this was a setup, it really wasn't the real setup because it was in front of news. Yeah, G5 says the ES worked, but you were trading in front of news, so you took the you took a gamble, and it was good. It paid out for you, but it would have been a gamble trade. Miguel says NQ done. See, all of you guys taking the trade, doing a good job. That's the whole point. Is the whole point is that you're taking my setup and doing better with it than I am, which is the whole point of how we want to trade. My hair looks marvelous today. As my Russian barber says, just be lucky you have hair. Whenever I bitched him about my gray hair, he goes, just be lucky you have hair. Thank you. Yeah, me too. But honestly, GFAS, most of the time, it actually works, right? It really does work. Ali is done. Look at that, 1.3, nice. Ali, how many? Let's talk about points. Can you convert that to points? Can you tell everybody how many points you made? Because I'm really much more interested in people starting to focus on points, because you can always make money as long as you can make points. Like, what did you do? Was this all in NQ, or was it in other instruments? Thank you, Miguel. Good job on you. Good job, Miguel. Have a great time. If you have a chance, just maybe, off the top of your head, you can tell me how many NQ points that was, because that would give people so much better control over the stuff. Points. Just, I don't even want to get into ticks, because it becomes okay, so in NQ, like, can you add how many NQ points you won altogether? Just off the top of your head? Was it like 15 points, 20 points? Yeah, you give me ticks. So okay, let me put this simply to you. If you were to add every winning trade and convert it into an NQ point, how many would that be? Did you make like 30 NQ points, 40 NQ points today? Ali's trading. You're not answering my question. Okay. All right. I'll leave you alone. But good job. I mean, really, really good job. Excellent. You did 31 trades. You did, $1,300. What I'm trying to do, Ali, is I'm trying to help people, okay, to kind of understand what it takes to win. Kevin says 20 points. That's great. 20 points of NQ a day keeps the doctor away. That's our target. 20 points NQ a day. You are a trading god, okay? You can do that consistently. That means money in the bank. That's how we need to be thinking about it, right? KP says it shows up on your trade list and wealth charts. I just added the points up. Okay, that's cool. That's good to know. Oh, shit. Oh, I'm talking, and I have a setup. I'm short S&P 50, and now I sold the bottom. Sorry, again, I'm talking and I'm not paying attention. There we go. Come on. There we go. So now S&P, boom, boom, boom. You see the setups? You see the setups? Boom, boom, boom. What is that? My S&P. That was like there's two. So it's three quarters, point and a half, 3 points in the S&P. I have 3 points in the S&P right now, and I probably missed. No, I did not miss the Nasdaq. Yeah. The S&P is much more negative than Nasdaq. S&P has really got a lot of good points on there. Good job, Tom. Take what back? What did I say? That's really great. Rockies, that's perfect. 20 points, $400 is just butter. Just butter. Yes, correct. 20 ticks equals 5 points. Really? Oh my God, you've been trading gold the whole time? Dude. Welcome to the Thunderdome. welcome. Welcome to the trade. Okay, let's see. We're getting a little bit of reversals here, guys. Let's look at the reversals. We actually have a reversal trade in Nasdaq. Let's go. 8 seconds left. Let's see if we can do this. 4 seconds left. 2 seconds left. Long. We're in Nasdaq. 95.75 is a target. 95.75 is a target. 95.75 is the target. Boom, done. Done on Nasdaq. Beautiful. So now we're at 16 points on Nasdaq. Really, really good. Really good. All right. Everybody doing great. I'm very, very happy with how everybody's doing. 20 ticks a day keeps the doctor away. Oh, that's it. That's it. Exactly. So you guys vibing what I'm telling you about how to reorient yourself into becoming a points trader instead of a dollar trader. Dollars are a byproduct of points. It's like Moneyball, right? When he talks about it in the movie Moneyball, he goes, what gets wins runs. What gets runs, getting on base, right? You break it down to the elements that create the win, and you don't worry about the win. If you focus on the elements that create the win comes naturally. That's what I'm really talking about. It's the Moneyball of trading, right? Today is the Moneyball of trading in terms of focusing on the points. So for everybody who's not an American, who doesn't understand a fucking word I just said, I don't even know how to explain it to you, but because there isn't an equivalent like that in European football. I can't, because European football is just so different. But okay, if you spend 80% of the time in the opponent's half, in that half, you have ball control for 80%. Although the problem with soccer, you could have ball control for 95% of the game and still lose the game. That's the thing about soccer that is not true about any of the other sports. One lucky breakout run and boom, 1-0 the other way, and you could be 90% of the time in your opponent's half, and the goalie is having a hot day and everybody's missing the goal, and you can still lose the game. I guess that's what makes soccer so much fun and maddening at the same time. But anyways, you need to understand baseball to understand what I'm trying to tell you. But that's really what it's all about. It's the Moneyball of trading, right? I don't know why that happened to you, Santiago, because I was never even close to a stop out. Never even close to a stop out. What are the white and blue dots? Those are on TradingView too. Yes. The white dots are just simply, I get, this is like a question I'm getting all the time. It's just a lower green dot. It's coming from a lower level. It's a lower high, lower breakout high, lower breakout high. And this is a higher breakdown low. Purple is higher breakdown low. It's coming from a higher level. It's just telling you that what it does is it's telling you there's an early warning signal for a turn to the upside, early warning signal for a turn to the downside. That's all. That's what they're really used for. Can I text a statement about winning in soccer without having any of the ball? Yeah. What do you mean? But isn't that true? I mean, Europeans chime in. How many games is there where you're literally pressing in the half for like 80 minutes of the 90-minute game. Goalie has a hot game. He has a couple of saves. You miss the goal by an inch, or just shitty shots on goal. And then you have a counterattack. The guy, strikes and boom, you lose 1-0. I mean, so many soccer games are like that. What does that mean? A pause overlay. What does that mean, Keith? What do you mean by that? You mean some kind of a visual clue of a pause trade? Celtic achieved notable victory against Barcelona in UEFA League Group H despite having just 16 possessions. Yes, exactly. It's the only athletic game where you could be losing for 90% of the time and still win. Right, exactly. It's just, all it takes is one lucky run. Yeah, I could, but you know what? I'd rather not to, just because. So I am correct. Exactly. Well, I am a European. That was my first game. By the way, if you ever want to know what makes you a true American, it's not your citizenship. It's not your ability to speak English colloquially with a no discernible accent. It's none of those things. The time you become a true American is when you finally begin to understand and appreciate baseball. Until that point, you're always a foreigner in this country. Okay? Just letting you know. This is my view on how things work. So set up here, guys. Set up, right? Green dot green. Buck 41 on the trade. Let's see if we can make this happen again. Let's see if this holds. Buck 19 on the move. Buck 6. Buck 2. Same on the S&P. S&P goes away. Let's see if Nasdaq goes away. Nasdaq is barely there, kind of barely hanging. Let's see if this holds. No, Nasdaq really pumping. 12 seconds left on a trade. Let's see if we're moving. All right, long 49.25 is a target. And we're done. Nice. That's it, guys. I hit my 20-point target here. Really good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 20 points on Nasdaq. I am good and done. That would have been $400 on just one single mini contract. And that's what you should be doing. That's it. Like, what do we do today? This is like, we started trading from here, 9:14 to 10:14, 1 hour, right? And I fucked around. I traded gold. I traded S&P. Every trade was a winner today. But the point is that if I just focused and zoned in, this would have been it, Okay, we're gonna wrap it up. Everybody enjoyed this. Let me put the banner again. Let's just let's do kind of last few AMA ask me anything questions. Where's my thing here? Okay, here we go. Let me get rid of the feed. Here's the deal. Go out there, knock this deal. I'm gonna put the wealth charts deal again into the link. You want to sign up? Be my guest. This is the value proposition for everybody. Go out there, go get it. Ask me any questions you guys have. Danielle liked it. All right, very good, very good. How do you manage losses in terms of target? If you get a loss, do you change your target for the day to break even or something else? So no, Santiago, remember, I'm sort of trading. It depends, it depends on how you want to structure your trades. I'm kind of always structuring them small size, right? So my starting size in a 50,000 is like 3 contracts. And remember, the other thing is, Santiago, you're asking me questions that are really coaching questions, because remember, I would be switching accounts. I'll be doing a whole bunch of other stuff that we do in coaching to kind of help remove risk from one account to the other account, and keep going and other kind of stuff. It's really, I'm going to save that answer for coaching, okay? Because it's too complicated for just trading like this. Yes, you get everything right now. Like within an hour, I'll set you up, Georgi. Now look at this. We turned Kevin into an NQ fanatic. What's the benefit of wealth charts versus trading view? Well, for one thing, wealth charts is free, right? Trading view costs about $12 a month on a basic level. Wealth charts has the built-in DOM and built-in execution, so it's really it's kind of a really cool platform. It's our preferred platform, but we trade for both. We like both platforms. I'm trying to think of what else. Honestly, those are they're really very similar. The main thing is if you get wealth charts through Apex, you don't have to pay any additional fees. But a lot of people like TradingView because it's just beautiful. It's just really beautiful graphics and stuff like that. But honestly, they're very similar. And I would say, oh, I'm sorry. There's one other benefit to wealth charts which we haven't explored yet. Is it has a built-in trade copier. So there's a free trade copier. So there's like really a lot of value in wealth charts this way. I don't know. Here's the problem, Ben. I got to be. No, it's not actually. I have to be off Monday and Tuesday next week because it's August and like partners are in town and I got to go meet people. So I'm not going to be. It's probably going to be Wednesday, most likely. As a matter of fact, you know what? Let's look. Let's look what's like viable as a. What the fuck is this? What's on Wednesday? How do I get into? I want to go to calendar next week. Yeah, you know what? No, Tuesday. No, I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to miss the Tuesday is the really good trade. Wednesday is going to be super quiet. Retail sales, nothing going on. Honestly, it's going to be a really dead week next week. Maybe we'll do a little bit of trading on Wednesday. Maybe that's what we'll do. We'll just do Wednesday as marathon. Can I explain 6 months access to ZIP and BK? That means you have full 6 months access to the indicator. That's correct. Georgie, that makes the point about the trade data indicates with TradingView and wealth charts is a separate idea. Can you trade an Apex account on TradingView? Yes, you can through TradeAvate. If you have a TradeAvate Apex account, that's what I have. That's what I'm trading. That's really awesome. Oh, Wally, that is awesome. I'm screenshotting this. I'm screenshotting this for my testimonials. Anybody who's got good things to say, please say them. Because everybody always yells at me. All my marketing people yell at me for testimonials, and I'm always too obsessed with trading to actually get them. Yes, you don't need to buy wealth chart. You just buy the Apex wealth chart fee. Let me show you guys how to buy this stuff. I think Everybody needs a lesson in how you buy Apex. So we're going to go in here. Oh, sorry. Hang on a second. Let me remove this. Add to stage. Okay. We're in Apex, right? Now, by the way, Apex has introduced authentication. So it's a little bit annoying, but you need to, let me just get my authenticator. In order to get into the website, once you create an account with them, you have to create a authenticator. Hang on a second. 780191. Okay. So I'm going to walk you through how you want a wealth charts account. Just go to, let's say, excuse me. Oh, God, sorry. You're going to hit this. You're going to hit this wealth charts. Very, very important. Really, really important. Use the word BK Save. If you don't use the word BK Save, you don't get the discount. You say BK Save. You hit over here. You hit next. And you get the huge discount, $33 just for 50,000. You pay for it, and you have a wealth charts account totally free. Totally free, okay? Same idea for TradeNFP. Go over here. You do the same thing. You hit BK Save. Save. And you hit this. You hit next. Same idea. Buy it, and you have a TradingView TradeNFP account. It's BK Save does not give me the indicator. What gets you the indicator is buying my coaching, okay? The BK Save just gives you a huge discount. Otherwise, you're going to pay full price on Apex. It gives you an 80% discount. But what if you want my indicator? This is what you got to buy. You guys get our coaching. This is what we get to get. You need this, okay? And if you buy my coaching, I will refund you the money so you can actually buy the Apex accounts for free. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'll refund you the money and give you the Apex accounts for free. So that's why it's such a good deal. Okay, Mango? Okay, well, save up money and come coaching with us. Okay, all right, guys. Love the session today. We traded really, really well. 2.5 hours of trading. Everybody killed it. 20 points in Nasdaq. 2.5 points in the S&P. 2.5 points in gold. That is essentially $750 of trading on just one mini account per each, which is just amazing. All right. Everybody have a wonderful weekend. I'll see everybody next Wednesday because I'll be off Monday and Tuesday. But I'll see everybody Wednesday. Everybody enjoy. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye-bye.